Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Crisp.
A crisp root beer energy drink.
Ooh, root beer energy drink. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yep.
What's it called?
It is called Bum Energy. Chris Bumstead, he's a bodybuilder. He has a line of energy drinks. They are amazing. We are not sponsored. Hopefully, we will be at some point also with Black
Rifle Coffee.
Black Rifle Coffee. We are not sponsored. I hope to be in the future, though.
One day.
One day over the rainbow.
But root beer. Interesting. You're a root beer guy?
I am a root beer guy.
God, I've never liked it ever growing up.
So this one's good. They have a Dr. Pepper flavored called Dr. Bum. It's also very good.
Okay.
I went to the Coca-Cola museum in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and I was trying a bunch of flavors, and I found out what the after flavor of root beer is called. It's called Beverly. By itself, it's absolutely god-awful.
Oh, God.
So bad.
Oh, they let you taste it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Is it a root?
No, it's just like whenever you drink root beer and that aftertaste, that's what it is, but it's just that.
Okay.
It's awful. You don't get the oak or the vanilla. It's just that. It's called Beverly. It's awful.
Okay.
I tried this other one. It was a Fanta flavor and it said China. So it's a Fanta flavor from China, I'm assuming. And it literally tasted like barbecue sauce.
You told me about that.
Yeah.
When we was at the theater.
Yeah. I was just like,
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And it was another one that was called Thumbs Up. And it just tasted like watered down Coke. So I gave it a thumbs up.
I would have given it a thumbs down.
Ouch. Well, it's called thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Come on, be nice.
Thumbs up.
You always say you're trying to
Be positive.
Be positive and say nice things. So just do that. All right. What are we here for, Bryant?
Uh-oh. We went to the movies and we saw
Captain America.
Captain America. World it.
I'll just say it.
Okay,
I'll just say it. Captain America: Brave New World. Well, we watched it, but we also kind of didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of didn't watch it, but yeah.
I was more in tune with the movie. You had ulterior motives. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I originally was going to go watch this. Okay, so Captain America: Brave New World is a 2025 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics, featuring the character Sam Wilson, who is now Captain America. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It is the fourth installment in the Captain America film series, a continuation of the television miniseries Falcon and the Winter Soldier that came out in 2021. It is the 35th film in the MCU. It was directed by Julius Ona from a screenplay by Rob Edwards with the writing teams of Malcolm Spellman and Delon Muslim and Oman and Peter Glens. That was a lot. Stars Anthony Mackie. And I'm so sorry, buddy. Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, who is Captain America, alongside Danny Ramirez, Shia Haas, Carl Lumbly, Zoa Rockmore, Giancarlo Espado. I'm the guy who played Glenn from Breaking Bad. I'm sorry, it's late. We're doing this at 10 o'clock at night. Yep. And then this comes to one of my points of the film. Liv Tyler and Tim Blake Nelson, who play Betty Ross and the leader, who are both Incredible Hulk characters. Mm-hmm. Harrison Ford's also in this film. He is replacing the amazing but late William Hurt, and he is playing President Thaddeus Ross.
Okay.
So yeah, that is a quick little blurb of the film. Do we want to go through the plot, or do you? Then let's start with initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts.
Have you seen the trailer? Like anything?
I saw the trailer.
Okay,
and that's when I knew the Red Hulk.
Okay.
I mean, you see Red Hulk. So yeah, the trailer. And you see the wings cutting through that car. I think it kind of. This is one of the times I'll say the trailer definitely summed up the movie. They didn't. They added a lot extra details to the film.
I would very hard. I would disagree.
You would disagree?
I would disagree very hard.
Okay.
This film did not tell you what the story was because there was no story.
I'll give you that. It was a strange one for me to even. It's one of the. Well, I was confused, and even when I was leaving the theater, I asked you. I was like, "So is this the? This is the Anthony Mackie from the Marvel Universe modern, but we go back to what's the character? No, it's that was fighting the Hulk.
Abomination.
Abomination.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, wasn't that the Tim Roth Abomination? And
Yes.
it was, and you was like, okay, and it's what's his name? It's American History X. That played
Malcolm
the Hulk.
X.
No, American History X.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is the Edward Norton
Yes.
Hulk.
So a lot of people don't remember the Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
It's in the MCU.
Mhm.
And the reason why we actually don't have any more standalone Incredible Hulk movies, I just found this out through my research, is when all the major movie studios were like, oh, well, when Fox did X-Men and it was a box office smash success, they made a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
All the other studios were buying up all superhero properties.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Sony got Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So Universal got Incredible Hulk. And there's a tiny clause in there that they can't do any more Incredible Hulk movies without Universal.
Wow.
So when the MCU was created, they couldn't do any more Incredible Hulk standalone movies. The clause did not include
Like
him being in the Avengers. So that's why he's still in the Avengers.
Yeah, because it's still storyline based on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why they could
Loophole.
do She-Hulk and include him, is because it's not his property. He just appears.
Did you watch She-Hulk?
It wasn't good.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
I didn't like it. We don't have to go down that track because that'll probably get us
Did you see
canceled.
Falcon and Hulk?
I did.
I haven't
Falcon
seen that.
and Winter Soldier. So
Yeah.
the only Marvel MCU TV shows that I have enjoyed was Falcon and Winter Soldier and Hawkeye. Hawkeye,
like Hawkeye.
I enjoyed. Well, and I'm talking about Disney Plus Marvel TV shows. I'm not talking about Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and all those that were on Netflix. Those are really good. I enjoyed all
Yeah.
those, especially Defenders. I really enjoyed it. But I'm talking about the Disney Plus ones.
I got you.
So, I did see all of them. No, I didn't watch Miss Marvel. I haven't watched Miss Marvel yet. But I enjoyed Hawkeye the most. But I did watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I have one of my acting teachers is actually in it. So,
Really?
yeah, in the pilot episode, she plays the senator.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
that was
cool.
kind of cool. So
Nashville
that-
based?
Huh?
Is she Nashville
Yeah,
based?
yeah.
Okay.
She's Nashville based. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. I always text her when I get to that point when I re-go through it. I'm like, hey, got to your part.
Is there any, I guess since I've never seen it, is there anything that carries over from that
Yes.
series? Okay, so that would be
And
clueless to it.
That's also one of the confusing things. It's because you're watching the film and he's struggling with his mantle of being Captain America, right?
Yeah, you could tell.
That was his storyline in the TV show. And they had given him a catharsis in the TV show. So it's kind of weird when the beginning of a story of a separate project gives you a similar storyline and you finish that storyline off and it's done.
Yeah.
And then you bring it back for the film
Yeah.
or the next
Like-
appearance of this character, and
Yeah.
he's still going through it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why am I watching the TV show then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's
weird.
kind of like this. I think he did. I want to say he overcame that mountain on this one. I think. I was so confused by the movie.
He
itself.
overcame it in the TV show.
Did he too? Okay.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
So it's kind of like
is
they didn't.
They're copying the same storyline in a way from the TV show to the film, but they're doing the same storyline. Does that make sense
It
now?
does, yeah.
Okay, my bad.
I gotta watch it because it'd probably make more. I think for
would
me,
make
I
more
was so
sense.
lost in that whole
Mhm.
thing because I was like, maybe. And then when the Hulk thing happened, I was like, hey man, is this the? Because I noticed Abomination. I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, Tim Roth's probably my
Mhm.
top favorite actors. So I was like, I kind of think. I mean, I'm not always watching all the Marvel
Mhm.
movies. So I was like, hey man, is this the Edward Norton? And he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, to me that threw me off big time. I was like, okay, because Homeboy's now the Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
So the background on that is, supposedly Edward Norton wanted a lot more creative control over his character when they were doing the Avengers.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. It's totally valid for an actor. However, when you're a part of a massive ensemble like that, you sort of probably have to sacrifice some of that.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he was unwilling to do that. And so then they just fired him. And then they hired Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see that. I know in American History X, he fought. I think he had the final cut in the final.
I have no idea.
Have you ever seen?
Yeah. I've seen it, but I don't know the history behind that.
Oh, I don't know. That's probably one of my top 10 favorite movies, and I don't think you know that. For me, it's just the struggle, and I don't mean to go off topic a little bit, but for that. When that film did come to, when I saw it, I was like, dude, this dude he becomes the opposite of what he was. And I love that. That's probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, I've seen the movie and I've watched it. Like, he's a neo-Nazi, and then towards the end, he completely
realizes
everything.
Script. Yeah, and there's still drama at the end that's still folded from his
And there's
life.
a lot of great character actors that are just peppered in that film. Like, you got Avery Brooks, Cisco from Star Trek. You got Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong.
From Terminator. You even have the dad from Boy Meets World as the racist dad.
Yep,
in the flashbacks. Yeah,
and his best friend, I remember him from My Name Is Earl. I can't think.
Oh yeah, that guy. And then you also have the love interest chick from Waterboy,
and the chick from I think it's The Craft is the girlfriend.
It's the same girl. So I'm talking about.
Okay,
same girl. But yeah, anyway, okay, so we digress.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, when I was
back
like,
to back to initial thoughts of the film.
Man, I was more confused. I think because I'm seeing this timeline happen from like a movie that I haven't seen since like 2003. I want to say, and then I was like, Mark Ruffalo character should be the Hulk.
Well, it came out in 2008.
2008.
The Incredible Hulk movie we're talking about. Yeah,
I'm confused.
So it's weird. So it's a it's a hodgepodge of a lot of different MCU movies. So yes, it's a Captain America movie. It's really a Incredible Hulk sequel because you're mainly dealing with Incredible Hulk villains.
Yeah,
the leader, Incredible Hulk villain, Red Hulk, obviously a villain, Incredible Hulk villain.
Yeah.
Betty Ross. You're dealing with the consequences somewhat of that film. Yeah. And you don't have Incredible Hulk in there whatsoever. Yeah. So I don't know if it's because Mark Ruffalo was unavailable at the time or what was going on.
They might have just liked the story.
The movie was also littered, and you can see it in the research, was littered with reshoots.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
They had a lot of reshoots for this film.
Okay.
So initial thoughts off. So yeah, it's kind of weird, and like I like the fact that Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson character is deciding to not take the super soldier serum.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I think it's kind of weird though that he has a hodgepodge of powers from all the Avengers in a way.
Yeah,
like he has Wakandan powered armor wings now. Okay, that's cool. His helmet, he's got the nanotech.
From like Ant-Man and stuff.
From Ant-Man and Iron Man. Yeah. I like the Red Wing thing. Like I've always liked him having that little remote controlled.
I think that was probably my favorite thing.
That was awesome.
Like, he would. I mean, a soldier that had that much research and development, they would have something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Danny Ramirez as the new Falcon was okay. I mean, he definitely served his purpose as sort of like plucky comic relief.
Yeah,
for the most part. I mean, he makes a very small appearance in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay. He's actually his like U.S. Air Force handler in the TV show.
I caught that from the beginning. And then when he gets the wings, I was like, how the hell did this guy get off the base? You know, when he's like, the scene is he's like, you can't be two places at one time. And I kept thinking, I was like, is he going to be the Flash now? I mean, in my mind, I was like, are they going to give him another power, you know? And then you realize that he gets his own set of wings. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
I know. I mean, I like the fact that they finally addressed the giant celestial thing that's just chilling in the Indian Ocean. And that's been that's happened since the Eternals, which came out during COVID.
Yeah.
So they're finally dealing with that, 5 years later now?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And I like how they tied in Antimanium.
I can never say it. Right.
Adamantium. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. But like also, I think it's like on par with vibranium for like.
I would
like
say strength-wise.
Yeah, there's really no such, and like the wording of that line that Harrison Ford says in the film does not make sense whatsoever. It's more indestructible. It's either indestructible or destructible. There's no levels of indestructibility.
Yeah, like matter or antimatter. You got one or the other.
Exactly. Now one might have more strength.
Yeah, properties.
More more
lightweight, maybe.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But like it's either or not. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So that didn't make much sense. But that's okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the initial thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's go through the cast and then give our thoughts.
Okay.
Oh, whoops! I went to the plot. I'm sorry. Okay, so Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, Captain America. How are you feeling about this so far?
I like him as the character.
I've personally love him as Falcon.
Yeah.
My question to you would be, how are you liking him in the Captain America role now? Because it's still Sam Wilson, but now he's taking over the Captain America.
Yeah. And they always pass the torch. Even.
Yes.
I like that he's conflicted. That's one of the few things, like, I was so confused by watching it, and I kept thinking maybe I'm missing a TV show or something. I was. And then the whole Hulk thing. But for me, when I was watching, I was like, okay, I like the struggles he's going through. I like that he's like the Isaiah character. The one soldier dude plays Ishmael or Isaiah. I think his name was Isaiah.
Who are you talking about again?
They go to the gym.
Isaiah. Yeah. Isaiah Bradley, I think.
Yeah.
Also in the show. Storyline also carried over from the show.
Oh, okay. So there's still more I missed.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep. So and I think they gave it to you pretty clearly in the film. So they actually did successfully recreate Captain America, but he was black. And it was Isaiah Bradley. And I think in the film it said he fought in the Korean War.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have and especially with the times, you can't have a black Captain America.
Yeah.
Because of 1950s socio-political, all that bullshit. So they hid him away, pretended he never existed.
Yeah.
Where in fact they did have two Captain Americas. So that's basically his storyline in a nutshell.
I got you.
Yeah. His storyline, his conflict, how he comes into it.
Yeah.
Because in the show, Anthony Mackie was like, I don't know if I should be. Like, I should be Captain America. I should, be this shining example. And Isaiah Bradley basically goes, You think Steve Rogers was that example?
Yeah.
This is what happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, blah, 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 blah kind of stuff. And then they finally have
and
that
even telling
catharsis
them in a
the
way,
show.
he gave you the shield for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, when somebody's going to pass the torch down to you, it doesn't mean any other thing than you are ready for that role.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only thing when you're being passed the torch, it's not really about your physical ability.
Yeah.
It's about your character as a person.
Yeah. Like,
That's
he didn't
all
need
it's
the
about.
serum
Yeah.
as a person, as a soldier, as a hero.
Yeah.
Like, he kept comparing himself. How many alien invasions did Steve take on? It's like, that one guy was like, well, I mean, you can't compare yourself to Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve's best friend.
Yeah. Steve's best friend.
Who also had the serum.
Yeah. True. Super soldier as well.
Russian-based serum, but whatever. All right. So,
what did you like? Is the lady in it that's part of the Black Widow squad? Is she in?
I'm trying to find her name. Okay, here we go. So Shiara Haas or Haas as Ruth Bat-Seraph, a Israeli former Black Widow who serves as President Thaddeus Ross's security advisor.
Was she in the show?
No, she was not.
Okay.
She was a new character. Described her character as a great part of the tapestry of the film's paranoia thriller story. She is seen briefly wearing a suit that resembles the comic book character's white and blue costume. Oh, so I guess she is from the
like the
from the comic books.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I did not know that. Let's see. We got Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley, a African American Korean War veteran and super soldier in prison and experimented on for 30 years. Let's see. I'm trying to find like more. We got Betty Ross that came back for a cameo. Tim Blake Nelson. Okay, so here are my questions for you. Actually, how did you feel about Tim Blake Nelson, who played the leader? Mm-hmm. And how did you think about Harrison Ford taking over for William Hurt? Those are probably my two big questions for you, besides Anthony Mackie, at least in the acting and actor arena.
I'm a Harrison Ford fan.
Okay.
So I think he's like one of these legacy actors. He can become any character you need him to be. I think especially I don't think he's going to take a role unless he really wants it.
Yeah.
So I liked his character. I like that he took over for
William Hurt.
Yeah. I think they found a great replacement in a way. Mm-hmm. Now, which one, Blake? You said Blake.
Tim Blake Nelson. He plays the leader, the guy with the messed up head.
Oh, okay. Right when you were saying that, I was like the villain, basically. Man, I did not like him at all.
Really?
Yeah. And I guess I don't know the canon of it, but I was like, man, I thought the villain would be Red Hulk from the trailer. I didn't think that it'd be this.
And that also goes back to my problem with the misleading of the trailer.
Yeah.
With my initial thoughts is the trailer doesn't tell you what the movie is at all.
Yeah.
Because the movie doesn't know what it is either.
Yeah. I think for me, I understood more from watching the trailer than watching the movie, if that makes any sense.
It makes a little sense. Like,
yeah.
I'm understanding what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The thing is the movie is trying to be too many things.
Way too many.
At one time. Like, it's trying to be an Incredible Hulk sequel. It's trying to be a Captain America sequel.
Trying to be its own storyline.
It's also trying to, in a weird way, it's also trying to be an Avengers movie.
Yeah, because they're bringing back
They're trying to bring it back. It's trying to be a political intrigue movie where it just doesn't sit right.
Yeah.
Like, this, for whatever reason, the scenario just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's the biggest competitor for the celestial thing in the Indian Ocean, because it's technically in international waters, honestly would not be Japan. It would actually be China. But if you made China the aggressor, you just lost a lot of cash. Yeah. There goes a bunch of your box office gross. So we're just going to make it Japan. Yeah. So there's a little thing right there that doesn't quite make sense, but that's okay. So, I mean, it was trying to, from my point of view, it seemed like it was trying to be like Winter Soldier 2.0, but it didn't work. And the pacing on it was very off. Because if you compare it to Winter Soldier has you at a steady pace, and then it starts to gradually build up. And it is a slow burn of a film also, but it gives you a great payoff.
Yeah.
This one doesn't really give you a great payoff.
It doesn't. And I'm going to say this here. I'm kind of tired of superhero films. I think they're done now. You know, it's like Iron Man came out, and then we had all these other little, like the Spider-Man, and then you had, and it was cool, but then it's like, it feels like when you were saying that it was like the 23rd film, 35th.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I forgot there's that many that we've seen, So for me, I feel like this film was more of like a filler. Because it feels like, when I was watching it, so I was like, either the writers are like, we don't know what to come up with. We just got it. It's almost like we're forced to come out with something, And then you're looking at like, what is it, Feige? He's got all
Kevin
these
Feige.
things. He's like, his name's in everything. And I think it's kind of like, let's force feed these people just something. This is just one of the bad examples of like,
honestly, I just feel like they've had a hard time trying to get a good consistency going after Endgame.
Yeah, I agree.
To be honest,
like Infinity War is when they come out with that. I can see.
I love Infinity War and I love Endgame.
Yeah. I just, some of these things that, like I said, I think this feels like every TV show. When you get to that filler episode, you're like, okay, they just had to create something to just pass the time by, because the studio might say, hey, you need 28 episodes. Okay, let's just get 2 of them. Just put something together just to get them out there.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how everyone else felt after Endgame, if everyone was like super excited to see what was going on, or if they're just like, okay, cool. Well, let's move on to something else. I honestly, I was so invested in it. Like, I want to see what the world is post Endgame now. And they did give us that. They did.
Yeah.
And it was very hit or miss. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of WandaVision. I watched it. It's okay.
It was all right.
They brought in that sword organization, which is a thing, but like, I don't personally know anything about it. I always have known about S.H.I.E.L.D. It would have been nice for them to bring in sword, or at least mention swords somewhere before that.
I didn't know there was a sword.
Well, you haven't seen WandaVision, so that's how you don't know. It's the first appearance of it. It's like the space-based version of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
To be honest with you, what I was most intrigued with going into post Endgame was the storyline that was lingering with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because Steve has given him the shield. Oh, I want to see what happens. I want to see how Peter Parker deals with a world without Iron Man. I wanted to see that. I got to see that.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen with Hawkeye, because he is effectively retired.
True.
Yeah. So like, I was very interested in certain character storylines after Endgame, but not all of them, which is totally fine, because I'm sure there are people who are interested in the other characters and not the ones that I was, and you'll want to see what happened to them afterward, which is again totally fine.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, per choice.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I just feel like it was like, let's put this together as a filler. We just got to throw something out there.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, is like, they told the story of Sam Wilson struggling with the mantle of Captain America in the miniseries.
Yeah. Well,
so,
I haven't seen it, but
and that's okay.
Yeah.
With this movie, they should have moved on from that.
Yeah, I definitely think, knowing that now, yeah.
Because in the beginning, in the cold open with him, he seemed like 100%, yeah, I'm Captain America now. And then as you're watching the film, he starts being like, I don't know, or should I, or was this the right call?
Yeah.
Like, you've already had, like, and I get it, in real life, we make a decision, we always look back on it and start questioning
without a doubt.
I get it. But for the sake of storytelling and movie making, you just need to move on from that. And let's move on to him being Captain America, accepting he's Captain America, not questioning it anymore, and let's get the job done.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, when it comes to villains, I will be the first to admit I'm not very well versed on MCU villains. However, I like the idea of what they did with making Ross president and wanting to turn him into Red Hulk. Great idea. I just don't think doing it in a Captain America movie was the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really don't know a way to go about it. In my research on going online and stuff, I mean, possibly making him like an Avengers level villain, because one thing I do agree with is having a no-powered human, Captain America, Falcon, whatever, go up against a Incredible Hulk level type villain. Like, what's the catharsis of the fight? How are you going to have an ending to that fight that makes not that it'll make sense, but what'll make emotional sense to the viewer?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I just said sense a lot. Sense.
Turn into a drinking game. Sense.
I know, right?
How many times are going to say sense?
How many times did I say it? 6. Okay, here we go. And give you an emotional payoff.
Yeah.
Because we're watching it, and I don't even think I said it out loud, but I thought this. So this is going to be a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
How that fight ended when Sam talked him down, it made sense because he's using his best attributes. He's a counselor.
Yeah.
Right? Totally get it. It works. Would have been better if Betty did it.
I kept waiting for her, and she only comes in at the...
She comes in the post-credit scene, which, I mean, okay, cool. But it just would have made more sense if Betty did that.
Yeah.
And if Sam used his counseling skills, because it's already mentioned through the film that Betty and Thaddeus have a strange relationship.
Very,
So if Sam used his counseling skills to convince her to show up,
yeah,
and then use her to talk him down,
yeah.
it would have been a better ending, in my opinion. That's just me.
When I was watching that scene, I kept thinking they're going to do the what is it, Justice League, where Lois Lane just shows up to talk Superman down.
Well,
I was just thinking they're going to knock it off.
That's essentially what I'm talking about with Betty Ross.
Bring in the big guns, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way. Like, through every appearance with Sam and Thaddeus in the same scenario and scenes, they're always against each other, because Sam is always on Captain America's side, and Thaddeus and Captain America are against each other. I mean, Thaddeus broke up the Avengers.
Yeah.
With the Sokovia Accords. He broke them up.
And even Sam mentioned that.
Yeah.
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 He's like, why you want to put them back together when you broke them up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, well, those are my 2 cents on that. But yeah, okay. So, to Tim Blake Nelson, I've met Tim Blake Nelson. He's a really cool guy. Like, we did a Zoom thing back during COVID. So
I remember, I think
So it was really interesting listening to him talk and pick his brain about acting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I even auditioned for one of his films. I didn't get the part, but it's okay. No, he played the same part in the Incredible Hulk movie, and honestly, I'm very happy to see his character and his story continue.
Yeah.
Love that. Harrison Ford, great actor. Love him. Yeah. I would love to work with him. I'd love to work with Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford had very big shoes to fill with taking that over from William Hurt, because William Hurt just embodied that role so well.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but he just did it.
Yeah.
Something about how he is as a person and how he reads on camera, just feels like Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah.
You know? So he had big shoes to fill.
No without doubt.
Did he fill them? I think he did.
I think he did justice.
I'll be honest though, I also think that's one of those roles where someone takes it over, but you're all in the back of your head, you're thinking about that other guy.
Yeah, what would he have done?
Exactly. Yeah. Now, what I thought was very interesting and very compelling, and I mean, it might have actually been the best performance of the whole film, is watching him try to not be Red Hulk.
Yeah, I definitely did. And the Tim Blake Nelson character, I got to say, one of my favorite things about his character, he's a super smart guy, and he keeps getting destroyed in a way by Sam screwing things up every time. And he's supposed to be, I think that's my favorite character. I want to say strength and flaw, because here's this character that's supposed to be so smart, and he's getting outwitted by a regular IQ kind of guy, you know?
I get that. I have a different point of view on that.
Oh, okay.
My point of view on that is, if this dude is so smart and he can calculate the percentages of this happening, why is he being outsmarted in the first place?
Yeah, I kept thinking this.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and
it's almost like it's a case of,
because you start getting really mad about it too.
Yeah, and it's also sort of the case of, I don't know the best way to word this, but the writer isn't as smart as the villain.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? If the writer isn't as smart as your villain, then you're going to make your smart villain actually dumb. Does that kind of make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I kept thinking,
especially with super smart people.
Yeah, like Brainiacs.
And stuff. Now it's one thing to say you're super capable in these sort of fields that were you can't predict anything. Mm-hmm. But if you're super well versed, yeah. But if you're one of those characters that's 2 steps ahead of them at all times, I would say give them one moment, one opportunity where they failed.
Yeah.
Don't have it happen consistently.
Yeah.
And it's happening, even though his plan's going off with a hitch, he's still getting hit with roadblocks.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah. Does that kind of make sense to you?
It does. And I get his character why he was so mad, like on the aircraft carrier thing with it in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a global event
Yeah.
of seeing Red Hawk instead of an American event where it happened at the press conference.
Yes. I just dropped a can.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a dead silent so we can kill that in the edit, but
I'm going to ask you something. This is something that just popped in my brain. I was going to ask you that night, too. Harrison Ford wearing Air Force One. Did you feel it tied into the movie Air Force One?
He had some finger pointing moments. I'll tell you that. Yes, he did.
When I saw these,
it's almost a sequel to Air Force One 20 years later. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you that. I was like, he's wearing the thing. He was the president at that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, and I was like, that is, if they played it off like that, I was like, that's kind of cinematography, like beautiful.
It's almost like it's the unofficial sequel to Air Force One.
Except for he's a different dude.
Different
name,
guy,
different
different name, different tactics,
Yeah,
different
super people,
everything. Yeah.
But I saw that and I was like, looking, he's got the jacket. And I was like, I wonder if they threw that in as like a little Easter egg, just for somebody.
I mean, if you look at footage of all American modern day presidents, they're wearing suit and the little American flag lapel.
Yeah, but this was said Air Force One, like directly on the jacket. I was like,
well, he probably came from Air Force One.
I'm sure he did.
And it's like an Air Force One jacket.
I know.
You're on. Okay.
I was just saying, I wondered.
Okay.
I was like, I wonder if they're playing off the Air Force One.
I mean, that's wishful thinking.
So.
I don't know. I hope so. Yeah. Okay. So we've sort of gone through that. Let's go through some production history.
What's the budget?
What was the budget? Okay.
No, it's a lot.
Let me find that real fast for you, sir. The budget was $180 million. It's raked in $289.4 million. So it is a box office success.
Was it shot in Georgia?
Oh, well, it had to be shot in Georgia.
Okay. One thing me and Brandon was talking about.
Their CGI backgrounds were atrocious.
Well, the one scene was from, like I was telling you, I've been watching The Walking Dead, right? Negan, the outpost, one of his outposts, that satellite, I think it's the same location, without a doubt.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because they shoot all of the Marvel stuff in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah. And when I saw that, the very first thing when I was walking out, Brandon was like, I think it was the same location. And, I mean, like, I'm fresh with Walking Dead, so I was like, oh, yeah, the Negan outpost camp. I was like, you know what? I think that was it. They just cut the gate.
You know what? I was either distracted in that moment or I had gone to the bathroom because I don't remember that.
Oh,
was
that's
that
when they go into. That's the lab that goes down where the Tim Blake characters was in prison. And they didn't know about it.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that, and yes, that should be the same satellite.
Yeah,
I remember that. All right, so back in 2015. Kevin Feige said Captain America Civil War was a conclusion of the Captain America trilogy starring Chris Evans. And then his last contracted film, it was also his last contracted film, Chris Evans, everyone. And that he would be open to extending his contract beyond that, which obviously he did, Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah. Let's see. By October 2018, they're developing a limited series with Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan for Falcon and Soldier. We already talked about that. Malcolm Spellman was hired as head writer of the series, which officially was announced. When Rogers bequeaths the shield. We talked about that already. After the series finale, Spellman and series writer Dylan Musson were revealed to be writing the fourth Captain America movie that continues Wilson's story. Okay, cool. Okay. Pre-production, Captain America. I mean, it's not really giving me a lot of interest.
It's kind of just like generic.
Yeah, it's not giving me anything that's like seems super, super interesting. I mean, it's a dense read right now. It's not super condensed.
Well, I don't know much about. I mean, I used to when I was a kid. I guess I was a Super Marvel and DC fan. Do you know the whole thing about the Red Hulk? Like,
I don't know the story on
Okay,
Red
I
Hulk
was
at
going to
all.
say maybe we could talk some about
I
that.
don't, man.
I have no clue.
But okay, here we go. I'll give you the filming stuff. So, principal photography began March 21st, 2023, at Trelith Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, under the working title Rocher.
Love they do that.
The director wanted the film's action to be grounded and tact. Okay, I know that's something we can actually talk about. How did you think the action was handled?
Over the top, man.
Yeah.
Me and you was talking about the Gus character. I can't think of his character.
Oh yeah, the Breaking Bad actor.
Yeah. And he was like, he's sitting there, and then he turns.
Oh right.
Yeah, because you stood up in the theater afterwards. You was like, first thing, man, I gotta say is that was dead wrong.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay. So the scene that we're talking about, Sam Wilson is going from somewhere to somewhere, and this one mercenary guy intercepts him and tries to take him out, and a gunfight ensues. Right. So at one point, our bad guy is unloading an AK-47 on him, and then he does an okay, interesting reload on the rifle. However, when he goes back to pivot and shoulder his rifle, he literally does it like a 1990s video game character. He picks it up and he goes around his cover, but not in a way where you would make yourself a smaller target.
Mm-hmm. Not the official, what somebody would be trained way to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's okay, but it's a small little thing that I did not like. You
hated it so much. It was like right when the credits ended.
Yeah, no.
Like, by the way, I got to say this right now.
I stood the fuck up. and
I think people was like watching you.
I know.
I think I agree with you, man.
Exactly. A lot of people did be like, oh God, this guy's, yeah. The action was okay. Again, a non-powered human fighting a Incredible Hulk. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I like that. At least he was relying on the tech.
That's the only thing. But see, that's the thing though. Is like he has a hodgepodge of powers, and without that tech, he's kind of like he can't do anything.
He just.
And even with that tech, he's not doing anything.
Oh, he's very limited.
Yeah,
very.
Yeah.
And you can see that with the Hulk too. Very limited.
But the action was I do feel like the action was a lot better in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. It was way better. It was more
planned. It feels planned.
Well, it felt more tactical, more also grounded in reality. By the way, they definitely underused the Breaking Bad actor. They underused his character.
But he's kind of popping up in everything,
which is good. I'm happy for him.
Very.
But they essentially showed all of his stuff in all of the movie trailers.
Yeah, and
they put him in the poster, but he's not really in the movie.
Yeah,
which is very unfortunate.
He's just in there, and then he's not, and he's in there, and then when I do break out of that prison, I was like, we don't even know where you're going, dude. Don't even worry about it.
Exactly. That's okay. So in May 2023 was not expected to impact production. Oh, the writer's strike and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that was insane.
That was
they already had reshoots scheduled. They announced a new title. Oh, the new title was Captain America: Brave New World. I wonder what the original title was.
Ooh.
Brave
New World just feels like, like early settlement for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then they also. Never mind. But so filming did take place, a little bit of it in Washington, D.C. Okay. By the way, did you catch that terrible background when they were talking Red Hulk down?
Oh, you're talking about with
the close
cherry
up
blossoms.
Yeah, close up. It was man.
It was atrocious.
It was atrocious. It totally took me out of the film.
Because you're looking at that and you're like, oh man,
they shot that in a volume or something, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we can go over the reception of the film, but I don't really have much left on this one. It's
not much. I hate to say it's not too interesting to talk about.
No.
And we'll probably have some episodes that we there's gonna be not so much in. You would think it'd be one of the terribly awesome movies that.
But it really wasn't.
I
Okay,
was,
you know
I was
what?
expecting a lot from this one.
Let me ask you this then. What would you do differently if they? So, how would I put this?
I would have made it his own standalone story. I wouldn't
Okay.
have been, I mean, knowing now, and I'm going to watch Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
just to kind of, I'm going to make some time to do that, just to kind of do that for myself. But I hate when stories, especially if it's a movie, takes
Mhm.
place in the middle of some kind of storyline. I'm like, no. First thing, make it his own story, man. I mean, Sam's got such an interesting character. You're bringing in the new Hulk in a way.
Not the new Hulk,
Hulk. What do you call it? No, what's his name? Hulk.
Red Hulk.
No, I'm saying his character was a Falcon, the new Falcon in a way. Ain't the kid coming in?
Oh
as the new Falcon?
yeah. My bad.
I'm thinking Hawkeye, and I'm thinking Hulk man, and I was like,
There's
no,
too many Hawks and
way
Falcons.
too many Falcons, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I would have. I definitely think, I need to watch the show anyway to tie things together. But I would have made its own story. I like that, like you said, they finally got the celestial. There's aspects of the film I love that finally
There's
years
nice
later
it's
nuances they put in.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where I feel like they have great parts, but overall it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because putting it together just isn't.
Yeah, and I would probably, and I haven't seen the movie in a while, the Winter Soldier, but maybe tie in something where it's Sam and the Isaiah character.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see that. Like maybe he's struggling mentally, maybe like an old, like a Logan thing almost, like where he's struggling mentally with some stuff going, and he's got to go back to some island or something, maybe back to Korea to get some fragment. I mean, just spitballing.
Yeah.
I just would like to see a story like that instead of like what came to be. I love that Harrison Ford, they brought him into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the pluses, I think. If somebody said, here's the money, go do it different, I'm going to say night and day, man, from this one. I would find a way to do night and day from this one.
Yeah,
It's like one of the few films I didn't give too fuss
I would
about.
not include the Incredible Hulk characters, because it needs to be its own thing.
Well, if you can't get the rights to use it later on, it's like, don't even bring that storyline up.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Or tie it to an Avengers thing where you can have Incredible
Now, I
Hulk
did
in
like
there.
the fact they was talking about bringing the Avengers back. I was like, in a way, that's a cool aspect.
Well, and it finally answers one of my questions too, because post Endgame, the Avengers compound's gone.
yeah.
I always just wondered, what is the state of the Avengers? There's moments in Falcon and the Winter Soldier where, Anthony Mackie mentions he's an Avenger. In the third Ant-Man movie, he mentions he's an Avenger. Yeah. Okay, cool. You're an Avenger. Is the Avenger still a thing? Is it still active? What's going on here?
It's just like they just disappeared.
It was sort of finally answered when he says, I want to reactivate the Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for my answer. Because I've been wondering that for since 2019?
That's right.
So there's that. What would I do though? See, this is the thing. I'm more versed in DC lore than I am in Marvel lore.
I'll give you that.
So I don't even know who the villains are for the Sam Wilson tenure of Captain America in the comics.
Yeah.
So I can't even really tell you.
Yeah. Same.
What you could do honestly is Baron Zemo is in Falcon and Winter Soldier, so bring him back as a villain, or him and someone else who are street level based bad guys who aren't.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. And
maybe they're going to do a nuclear attack or something.
Yeah. And you have to bring him in there, or you can bring Sharon Carter back because she was also in the miniseries. Mm-hmm. And if you want to do a continuation of those storylines in the film, which is kind of what you wanted to do, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Put them back in a movie. It's not going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier 2.0, but you would be able to raise those stakes because you have more money.
Yeah.
To make a movie out of it. and you can still make it like ground based. Like it could be a chemical weapon, or if you really wanted to bring in the Incredible Hulk elements, someone stole gamma radiation vials or something,
Easy,
and you're
yeah.
trying to get that back. Like you could do something like that because
Or even the homeboy that's dishing out the pills.
Mm-hmm.
There's these small sporadic bursts in maybe Brazil where these people are going almost Hulk, you know?
yeah.
They got to investigate, you know? I'd like to see something like that.
Or you can even do something like you could do a team up movie with it.
Yeah, why not?
It could be Captain America and someone else in it. But like I know they also want to make Sam Wilson like his own character and give him his own film, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm totally down for that. I mean that's just kind of what I would do in a nutshell. Like that's not a whole lot of information, but you know.
I mean, it's one of the ones that usually, like when we talk about this segment, I'm usually excited about it. Oh man, how would I do this different?
Yeah.
This is just one of the ones I was like, I don't know how. I knew that we'd be talking about it. I'm like, well, how would I do this different? Yeah.
What would you rate it?
This is one of the few that if I had to pay for a ticket again, I would not go see it. If it was on TV, just as confused as I was, man, I'd probably flip it to something else. And I like Anthony Mackie as the character. I think that just, for me, it was the confusing side of all the stuff. Man, I was just like fucking confused in the theater for me.
I mean, the actors, they do save the movie.
They do. The actors were incredible.
They do, yeah.
Like the Gus character. I can't think of his name for that, but yeah, I love this character. Some of the characters were great. The scene with the F-22s and stuff. F-22s?
No,
Raptors.
those were, well, honestly, I don't even remember what airplanes they were, man. I'm so sorry. I
like those scenes.
Yeah. I mean, that was interesting. That was okay. I understand. Well, so to give you context, Sam's last wingman was also shot down. So that's the reluctance you're seeing, and he tells you that in Winter Soldier. So
Yeah.
that was it. I understand his reluctance to give Danny Ramirez's character the Falcon mantle.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I really did like the idea of seeing like two Falcons up in the air doing their thing. That was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was interesting how they were using the shield in sort of new ways. So like now he's putting the shield in front of him, but he can still kind of see. So like he's having ordnance shot at him and it's just bouncing off the shield. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They didn't really do a whole lot of new interesting things with the shield.
And I didn't mean to interrupt. The thing I didn't understand about the shield, right? I mean, like the Steven Rogers character, he's got the serum. The Sam's character is throwing the shield like that character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm sitting there going, I mean, I think that's also what throws me off. I'm like, you know,
how is he so good with it?
Well, he's able to he's got like the strength of throwing this thing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's throwing it like Captain America would.
That's true. Well,
like
I will say this. I 100% do agree with you. You see him in the TV show in like the last episode practicing with the shield.
Yeah.
But with the ferocity and power that he is throwing it in that film, I do understand what you're talking about.
I mean, the vibranium's probably pretty heavy.
No, actually, it's almost light as a feather.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, God, then maybe
so
Steve
like
should have been throwing harder.
Maybe if you watch Captain America: First Avenger when he first sees it, like that's what Howard Stark's saying. It's like super light, but like twice as strong or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
I
it's
kept
not
thinking
heavy.
like when, you know, he's popping it up and he's got it. You know, it's like the original Captain. Can't think of his name. Rogers.
It's Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
It's not like picking up a cast iron skillet. It's pretty light.
Yeah.
It's pretty light.
I guess I'm thinking in my mind it's got to be something heavier.
No.
Because it's the shield of America, man.
Yeah. Oh, I
it
know.
carries weight.
I know. So how I would watch it on Disney Plus, but I probably wouldn't pay for a ticket. I'm sorry, Anthony Mackie. I love you, buddy, but never met you, but I love you. Big fan of your work, but yeah.
Not getting. This is the first time we
Like,
both don't like it.
yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But you said you'd watch it if it was on.
I'll watch it again on Disney Plus because, like, even the third Ant-Man movie, I just rewatched it the other day on Disney Plus.
Oh, was that with the Krang character?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kang. Yeah.
That's another one.
So hopefully they bring his character back. I want to see them finish out this multiverse thing,
Yeah.
and
I get
then go
confused
on
by
to
it.
the mutant phase. That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, next segment. What are you watching now?
What am I watching now? Still on Walking Dead.
Still on Walking Dead.
Fear of the Walking Dead, I should say. I've already finished The Walking Dead.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Fear of the Walking Dead. Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few I've got on the playlist that I need to really watch. Cobra Kai is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were just talking about that before.
Well, at the time that this episode drops, the previous week, the first 3 episodes of the new season of Reacher came out, and I watched all of those.
Do you like Reacher?
Yeah. What?
I'm just, oh man. That's probably one of the shows I just don't care too much for.
That's okay.
I thought you was going to be like, nah, man, it's all right.
That's okay. I went to the same school as that guy.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Alan
Richardson.
Is he from Florida?
So his dad, if my research is correct, I never actually met the guy.
Yeah.
I think his dad was like an Air Force officer.
Okay.
And so I just found this out from a Colbert interview he just did for the show, but he was doing a musical theater degree while he was in high school. So he was going to the same college that I was going to.
Okay.
We just went at different times.
I got you.
So my first semester at that college was the year Blue Mountain State finally came out. And so all of my
I forgot he's in that.
all my teachers knew him, and they're like, fucking Alan. And I was like, what does that mean? And they literally go, that's how Alan is. Like, he's like that, yes, just not that R-rated. I was like, that's hilarious.
I forgot he's in Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
I forgot
Like, for some reason, they were just like, this is hilarious seeing him shove an Oreo up his ass, because that's what happens in the pilot episode. It's like an Oreo up the ass race. It's funny. But so that was cool. And if I ever do get to meet the guy, I'd be like, hey, man, you know Bob Whitaker? And he'll be like, I do. How do you know that guy? I went to your school. So that would be an interesting way to break the ice.
But Reacher.
Yeah.
Okay, second season, does it get better than first?
I would say first season's better than second season. Third season's a little bit more of a callback to the first season.
Okay.
So what's interesting with the whole Reacher character is how he gets thrown into a scenario or an environment, and he has to sort of like make do and learn to operate with these other people, even though he's best at operating by himself. What's weird about season 2 is he's working with his team that he created, which is fine, but I will agree with him what he said in promotional stuff for season 3. The action was not on point as it was in the first season.
Okay.
So the second season action wasn't as great, and they definitely tightened it up for season 3. The action's gotten a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might give it a second watch. Okay. Is that the same story as the Tom Cruise?
No. So they are based off of the same books.
Okay.
But different universe.
Okay, because I kept thinking, I was like, they got this big dude, and then they got this little dude that's very strategic.
Well, this is the thing. So Alan Richardson actually fits the book's description of Reacher.
I got you.
And he's still very tactical in the show.
Yes, without a doubt. It's one of the things when Reacher came out, and then the movie.
Second one came out.
Well, I'm saying the film with Tom Cruise. When the
I actually liked it.
Oh, I liked the film. Yeah, without a doubt. It's just when I saw the Alan Richmond.
I don't know how to say his last name.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Rickman.
I'm sorry, Alan.
Sorry, Alan. When I saw the show coming up, and I think it's Prime, right?
Yeah, it's Amazon Prime.
I was like, for me, it was confusing. I was like, is this the Tom Cruise, or is this whole different thing? And now you've kind of clarified it's the same book.
It's the same character, same books, but like it's not the same universe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they won't cover those storylines. Like, those books, they probably won't do those books. Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. What are we going to do next after, what are we going to do next?
Let's see.
I chose Prey.
Yeah, I like Prey.
That's but, What would you like to choose? What would you like to do?
Let me think. Movie wise.
Mm-hmm. What?
Poll.
We can't do polls. We're not doing polls.
We're
at
not
least not right
strippers.
now.
Yeah, we should though one day be able to ask, hey, what do y'all want us to
Yeah,
watch?
yeah.
next?
Once we get big enough and have a big enough following, we'll start doing some polls.
Let me do this. I'm gonna go to my IMDb watch list.
All right.
I'm going to, because my brain is fried.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this. I know my brain is fried too.
Okay.
Do we want to do a newer movie or do we want to do a older movie?
I'm good for anything. Let's do like a Jason Statham.
Okay.
How about Transporter?
Okay.
Okay. There
Done.
we go.
Done.
And I was just coming across this, man, and you might appreciate this. Highlander, the new show,
Yeah.
is going to have Henry Cavill in it.
Oh, I know.
God, man.
I already know. That's going
I
to be
just
sick.
was scrolling through and I was like, that's on my to-watch list when it comes out. I was like, oh.
Whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
Well, like if he uses his same sword skills that he learned in The Witcher, then it's going to be amazing.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through some of this stuff, man. Oh, dude, did you see Nefarious yet?
Mm-mm.
God, that is good.
Nefarious?
Mm-hmm. With Sean Patrick Flannery.
No, I haven't seen it.
Really good.
Yeah?
It takes place like one location. Probably the most beautiful. Sometimes, like one location sucks. Man, they make this. It's worth watching. Maybe we'll do that one day and talk about that because that is a really good. I mean, I loved it. Like super indie film.
Yeah,
loved it.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
All right. Well, guys, this was our attempt at Captain America: New World Order.
Yeah.
And well, we'll be back next time with a new episode. Where we will be covering the movie Prey. Give you a little tease on it. It is a sequel to the Predator film series that was originated in 1987 with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, all those guys. And this film will be set, it's technically a prequel. It's set in the 1800s, and we will be following a Native American tribe who is being hunted by a predator.
And one thing, I've been wanting to watch that now. I'm glad you brought that up because it fell so far on the watch list of all this other stuff. It's like, man, I don't know why I haven't even thought about rewatching that because I haven't even seen it yet. But I've heard so much good stuff about it.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. I absolutely love it. And it totally brought, well, I mean, like, I do love The Predator that came out before that. Yeah. Directed by the original writer of the first movie. Very interesting. But yeah, no, Prey's amazing, and it's done by completely different filmmakers. It's a fresh take. What's really cool about it is we'll go a little bit into this, and then we'll cut it off. Your protagonist is a woman, but sort of like what we were talking about with Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, she is not a Mary Sue. She is not automatically good at everything. You actually watch her train and practice to get good at stuff.
Okay.
And her motivations and reasonings behind things make total sense. So she is what I would consider technically a tomboy in this film. Okay. And her mother's like, why are you learning all these things? You need to learn to do these things. And honestly, it makes the most sense in the world. She goes, I don't want to learn those things. Makes the most sense in the world.
Is it in English or is it dubbed?
So what's cool with Hulu is they have a English version and they also have a dubbed version.
Okay.
And I don't want to say the tribe they are right now because I don't know.
I think it's Cherokee.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I'll say it when we do the episode.
Okay.
Because I'll know by then.
Too. Yeah. Because I think it's Amber Midthunder. I think she's Cherokee. And I think she wanted to pay homage to her Cherokee side. I think. Okay.
I know she definitely wanted to pay homage to whatever she is, whatever tribe her ancestors are. I will not say until I look at it.
Yeah. There's so many
Native American tribes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well, guys, until next time.
That is
it.
A wrap.
Stay classy.